You're good.
Drive.
Oh god. Well, so I feel awful about that last one. We don't have to talk about that anymore though, because the game is over.
You're
Marcus
right.
won.
Oh,
You can tell me the host next time. It'll be
Yay.
a real...
Can I give a winner's speech?
No.
Can I give a winner speech?
I mean, you did. I feel like we're circling back here.
Did I? I didn't. No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Wait.
I don't think you did.
No, I didn't.
We're getting older.
Did I prompt Mark to give a winner speech in my
No.
head and then
No.
listen to Mark talk in my head and then say none of it out loud?
Because that never happened out loud.
All right, Mark, you can give a winner speech, but only if it's exactly what I hallucinated in my head.
Watch out, everyone at home. I have a license to kill, and I'm coming for the evil ones. But don't be evil. I'm Santa. I'm gonna turn into Santa.
You're murder Santa.
Murder.
Is that what you imagined in your head?
Is that what you imagined? Yeah.
Wildly enough, no, it's not. But I'll forgive that, I guess.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I really did just like black out for a second, hallucinate that I asked Mark to give a winner speech.
Hey, that happened to me when we were out in LA. Remember my milkshakes?
That was way weirder and much worse than my blackout.
Oh yeah, no, that was bizarre.
We need to talk about that story. We won't remember to do that, but we do.
No time.
No, next time.
Next time.
On
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. Thing next week, you can find my friends Mark at or just Minion777 on Twitch, and if you literally search for subreddit, it
Thank you.
works.
It worked.
It does
I'm like,
work.
wow, that's incredible.
Is that why I get all of the emails for you?
Anyway, thanks for listening, lizards. Make sure you follow the podcast. We release it every Monday, but still, if you follow it, you'll never miss it because your phone will bother you until you listen. We have merch at store.distractablepodcast.com, and thanks so much for listening. And post something positive on the subreddit, or I'm gonna keep crying every time I open Reddit. Please, we do look at that, and it hurts. We look at that.
Yeah, it has been a little bait-filled, which is just people's excuse for rants. So post something nice. Post your favorite thing about the podcast.
Be kind, you shits.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off.
Sorry, was that too hostile?
Go ahead and cut that off. No more of the outbursts, Wade. That's the end of the podcast. We're out of here. Podcast out.
Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible, a Wood Elf production. This week, it's Thanksgiving. Mark reminds us of the good in the world and how each of us can expand it with the tiniest deeds. Bob discusses the light of his life, his wonderful wife, and how tiny things can calm all the strife. And Wade extols both healers and his friends, not just for their skill, but their very souls. Yes, it's time for Thank You. Now sit back and prepare to be distracted and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Distractible, the only show you'll ever need to listen to, because we ensure that your day will go on and be wonderful and full of joy, guaranteed.
And also, we've paid the people that filter your internet access to make sure we're the only one you actually can listen to.
Ow, you probably just came up with some excuse like, oh, I guess I must have clicked this on my listening app. I guess I'll listen to it. You fools.
I wonder how I got here every episode.
Yeah, we wonder that too, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No.
No.
Pass.
Are giving thanks because it is Thanksgiving here in America.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, I gave it. Now what?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing. You don't just give it once. You were thankful, and you're thankful for many things over your life. And I actually just today, just this very morning, had an experience where I was extremely thankful for something. But it wasn't something very big. Oh, wait, no, small talk. I forgot about small talk. I'm getting into the meaning of the episode.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I'm joined by Bob and Wade, who are my friends.
Hello.
Thank me.
This one's Bob. The normal one is Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same I always am, so this is no.
Joining me on this wonderful podcast and on this wonderful day.
Thanks.
Got anything to be thankful for today?
Thanks. You?
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm glad that this topic has brought us to this type of Wade. It's a good Wade day.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good Wade day, yeah.
Hey, I got out of bed just like everyone else.
Well, actually,
okay.
Well, if you think about it, not everyone got out of bed today.
Whoa.
Oh. Well, then they're not people anymore. So, or did you mean they just got out of a bed or they're dead?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought you were saying that people had passed today or something.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Guess. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, they're not people anymore. They're just husks.
That's what I was, oh my God,
Oh,
into.
okay. Well, that makes sense. Sure.
I've lost people.
All right. Anyway, I kind of want to start it over.
Wait, I have a good thing.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Let me talk about a good thing.
Okay.
So,
all right, Bob, what's your good thing?
I guess what time it is. Play the music, Will. It's time for Bob's TikTok updates.
I'd almost
Wait,
forgotten
is
about it.
that a segment we do?
Oh, we got a whole theme and everything, probably.
Oh.
I think that this is probably like the 5th time we've had a TikTok update, so I think it's officially a segment.
It's a segment. It's a thing now.
All right, Bob, you have the floor.
Okay, so this thankful is a good theme for this one because I saw this originally way back in the day and am now seeing a conclusion. You know, sometimes things happen online and a person is like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that. You tell me when the party is and I'll be there." You know, these sort of things where it's like happenstance, and on social media, someone's like, "God, I wish Dwayne The Rock Johnson would come to my birthday," and then The Rock is like, "You betcha." just tell me where and when. And then, like, you know, you see that and you're like, well, that's sweet, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
This one is not a celebrity, but there was a TikTok earlier this year or something. It was from quite a while ago of an account on TikTok called North Omaha Cat Lady, which is this lady who's very funny. She starts a lot of her TikToks where she'll talk about like politics or whatever news stuff that's happening, and she starts with, "I'm just in here getting my fat bitch on," or something like that. Like, she has a catchphrase. Well, she saw a TikTok of a person who is, I'm not 100% clear on, queer, and I'm not going to label them because I don't remember and I have not researched this. But basically, they were getting married to their significant other, and their parents are not supportive of who they are in terms of their identity and sexuality. And it was a very sad TikTok of this person who's just like, I asked my parents, you know, I invited my parents to our wedding, and they are still not supportive. They're not coming. It's very sad, and you could tell this person is very devastated. And this North Omaha Cat Lady responded to that original TikTok and was like, tell me where. I will gather all the aunties and mamas and everyone, and we will come. And she just posted a day ago a response now where the cat lady was like, I'm about to have dinner with this person and meet them for the first time, and I'm gonna walk them down the aisle and give them away, and I am now their mom. Because
wow.
I love this person, and their parents suck. They got a shit mom and shit parents, and that is not their fault. It's very sweet. The lady is obviously sort of tearing up, and there's not a lot of specifics because I'm assuming privacy, but basically North Omaha Cat Lady was like, I'm doing it. It's happening, and I'm gonna do it, and I am now this person's mom forever.
Wow.
And I fucking love this person. And it's just like really sweet because you see a lot of stuff. I see a lot of stuff like that. It seems like it never happens, but this one is happening. It's incredibly sweet. And I think the world needs more people who are like North Omaha Cat Lady and less like the parents of the person who couldn't even.
Okay, all right.
Well played.
That's a point. That's a point.
Well,
Themed.
boy, update time.
Oh god, no, I can't compete with that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
play the theme again. Woo, there it is.
Wow, that's a good theme.
Yeah. Guess what, everyone? Soldier Boy's not happy with Elon Musk's handling of Twitter and has either threatened or promised, depending on how you feel about it, to create his own social media app. It's gonna be a Soldier Boy. Maybe it'll be Soldier Boy Twitter. Maybe it'll just be Social Boy.
No, you know what it needs to be called? Soldier Boy Tell Him.
Soldier Boy,
yeah.
tell him.
And you don't post tweets or toots or whatever. You tell him.
tell 'em.
Soldiergram.
Tell him.
Yeah.
Soldier Space. My
And then
soldier.
When
my
you
boy.
retweet it, instead of retweet it, you tell them again.
You say it louder.
The like button is, oh, you told them. Oh, wow.
You just give him some hell yes. I don't know. If you can't tell, listeners, I don't know a single thing about Soldier Boy beyond his tech empire and other exploits we've talked about.
And it is truly an empire. That was a
He
great.
tweeted, and I quote, wow, I can't believe this. Fuck it, I'm going to create my own app. And man, I can't wait to see what he makes. Apparently, part of his career was helped by MySpace. So I guess he has had social media boost him in the past. So maybe my boy. It'll be, instead of MySpace, be my boy.
Yeah.
Soldier Space.
Creating a MySpace account definitely gives you the skills to build your own social media
I think
platform.
so. I think he's prepared.
And as have been proven, social media platforms are incredibly profitable.
Oh,
and
yeah.
definitely always will return your investment in due time.
Yeah, so be prepared for the Soldier Boy Tell Him or the Social Boy or the Soldier. Whatever he calls it, I'm excited. And I'm thankful that we have Soldier Boy to give us such interesting and fun updates.
And to fix all the world's problems.
Yeah, that's good. All right, that's a point for Wade. He was very thankful for that.
That's fair. That's a good update.
All right.
All
Woo-hoo!
right. So it's all tied up this early in the game. It's still anybody's game today.
I never performed this well early. This is great.
So today is going to be a little bit different in that it's going to be pretty much the same. We're both going to take turns, but I want to start it off with a little story that I had. Happened to be just this morning. So I've been starting up in hot yoga. Do you guys know what hot yoga is?
Yeah, it's where like everyone's topless.
It's where when you show up to yoga class, the guy at the door is like, yeah, you're hot enough. Get in here.
He hotter knots the door. Oh, not.
I show up and he's like, get out of here, fatty.
Oh, yeah.
Go do sad yoga.
You got to go next door to not yoga. yoga. That's you. That's you over there.
This one's called Yoga Next Door, but you have to go next door if you're not welcome here, you non-10.
You have to go to Yoga Next Door and do the not yoga class. It's not a whole. Ours is just hot yoga, but not yoga is only part of their business. Very confusing.
So,
Did we get it right?
no, actually, surprisingly.
Okay.
Hot yoga is simply what it sounds like. You're in a room doing yoga, but it's very hot. So it's about 105 degrees on average, I think, is most of these.
That is hot.
It's like a sauna.
It's a lot less hot to picture.
Yeah, it's a sauna. You're in a room. It's a group class, and you're just sweating your ass off. But it's very therapeutic. I started it up recently because Pam actually introduced me to the concept many years ago, and I was like, I'll try it again. And it was very, very, very hot in the room the first time I went back, and it had been years since I'd done it since. This wasn't yesterday, or this wasn't today. But I went there, and I tried too hard, and I sweat so much I started cramping up, and I walked out of the room with like a limp because my muscles were just like completely dehydrated because I tried too hard, and you're not supposed to try hard at yoga.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be relaxing. Yeah.
I'm good at not trying hard. This might be good for me.
I mean, it might be. I think it's very nice. But once I got done today, it was extremely hot. I was able to do the poses better, but it was much faster paced. And at the end of it, like after 50 minutes, it's either an hour or an hour and a half. I was laying on the ground, on my mat, just drenched in sweat, on the border of overheating, just being like, oh, maybe I should step out of the room. And I had my eyes closed. I was just trying to rest. It was after all of the poses. And I was just like trying to deal and hold quietly, and had been placing cool towels on people's foreheads. And I remember in that moment, I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I thought about it, and I was like, that's kind of like the idea of hot yoga, is that it's not entirely comfortable. You are obscenely hot, you're doing exercise, and you're sweating, and you're so focused on trying to stay in the moment while not focusing on the heat. And in that moment, the cool, refreshing towel was the great. Have that cool towel in that moment. I didn't even know I wanted it. I didn't even know it was great. And it was just given to me. And I know it's probably just standard practice for that, but I'd been to other hot yoga classes and I didn't get that at the end of it. But it was just in that moment I thought about, I was like, man, this is better than food. This is better than a toy. Any kind of like electronic or cool new gadget in this moment, I would prefer this right now. And it made me incredibly grateful, and also made me incredibly self-conscious about the things that I take for granted in my life. And it made me think of like, oh my God, this is such a small token. I never would have asked for it, and yet it was given readily, probably standard procedure, but I have never been more grateful in my life for this. I almost cried right then and there, just because it was so meaningful. And I was thankful for the smallest thing I could have ever imagined. And the instructor is the one that put me through all that stuff, you know, like put me through all the poses and made it, but I mean, I pushed myself. So today, I know it's Thanksgiving this week, and usually it's like big things that you're thankful for. But I can think of many moments in my life where I was thankful for a very small token. Not because, you know, it wasn't like a bigger thing would have meant more. It was that in that moment, in a moment when I needed something, it was given to me. Not necessarily a cool towel or, you know, just like a small things mean more than anything physical, or it could be physical, you know, like a small token or something. But those tiny things that you're thankful for that just put everything into perspective, you know, kind of like not quite like this, but you know, the, what is it called, the overview effect, when astronauts go into space and they see the world, and it puts everything in perspective for you. I want to hear stories of either that or tiny things that you have been incredibly thankful for, or moments when you've been given something and it's really moved you or touched you in a very, very special way. That's what I want.
I like that.
Thanks.
Did that touch you in a very special way, Wayne?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you made a laugh, because I literally couldn't get this out of my head. That was a very nice like opening, and I am excited to talk about this. But also, a specific phrase you said triggered a thing in my head. You were like, I went to this hot yoga class, and it was like a new place or whatever, and it was faster paced. It was like fast yoga, and in my brain, I just imagine at the front of hot yoga, there's a guy on a podium, and he's like an auctioneer guy, and they're like, all right, begin hot yoga, and he's like, all right, that's sun salutation. It's like weird fucking,
And rotate.
Yeah. Downward dog, standing shavasana. No, it kind of was like that. Usually it's like, all right, now breathe, fold forward, hold that stretch. All right, rise up to like half fold. It was literally like this. All right, fold over, half stretch, go down, flow into downward dog. All right, warrior 2, reverse it. It was that fast. And
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
it's not like breakneck speed, but for the yoga I was doing, it was fast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's probably, there's lots of varieties of yoga, and that's probably not unusual, but all the yoga I've ever experienced is the first one you did. Just imagine a bunch of people all trying to play, like, Just Dance. Right there. All right, now Warrior 2, and now lean, and then people are like, oh shit, is that left? Ah, no. Ugh.
Legitimately,
Like,
that was it.
remember what all the things are.
Best I can relate when they're like, all right, put on this gown, cough, bend over this table.
That's
And then
different.
they charge you for a full medical visit.
That's not yoga.
That
That's not
sounds
yoga.
different entirely.
Yeah.
Well, I still said thanks afterwards, so maybe it counts.
Are you making that your story?
Thanks.
I mean, this is tough to make longer stories out of if they're the smaller
It's
things.
not
There's so many
longer
small
stories.
things
It's
that.
not longer stories. Why do you think it needs to be longer stories?
Well, okay, one of the most recent instances.
Whoa. You jumping the gun here?
Yes.
You forget how this works?
Yes.
I want titles.
Thanks.
I want compelling names.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's like 5 people listening to this home like, oh, the titles are back. Oh, I'm so thankful for this. So you're really making someone's day.
I feel weird titling a bunch of little small ones, but sure. This one will be "You're Not Dying Today."
What do you mean you feel bad? That's a great one. That's so good.
Well, it's a very big title for a story that's about as long as the title.
All right, cool. Bob.
I think we're in the same boat, Wade. Don't worry.
All
My
right, good.
first title is going to be, and that's why you're the love of my life.
That's so sweet.
That was sweet.
I wasn't gonna think anything could beat "You're Not Dying Today," but oh man, Bob, I want to hear your story. Bob, you get the point. You get the point, Bob.
What? A point? We haven't even
Suck
told
on
him yet.
that, idiot!
All right, thanks.
I mean, sorry, wrong side, sorry. Yeah, well, no, don't worry, Wade, because I think, unless I think of something else, I'm with you on the not so long on the stories. And this one is really, it's not so much a specific instance, and you may have guessed about whom it is about.
Me.
Could be, but it's not.
Okay.
This one is about Mandy. The moment that you're describing, Mark, that moment of like perspective and feeling things back and getting perspective on stuff and how it changes you instantly and like lightens everything. It always makes me feel lighter, like it lifts something off of me. And I hopefully have other stories, but the main way that I experienced that is that Mandy who's my wife for new listeners. What have you been doing with your life?
You're married?
Just wait till I tell you the next thing.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Mandy will do this. I don't know why, but I'm the kind of person where I guess what my love language is like acts of devotion. I don't know that's a book and I don't know the language of the book, but my love language is about doing things for the people that I really care about as much as I can. And so a lot of my relationship with Mandy, for myself internally, I'm trying to think about, and I'm not very, despite the fact that we've been together for a decade as of 4 days ago, I'm not very good at it sometimes. I struggle to relate to like what Mandy's dealing with, where she is mentally and what might help her, or what would be the really good thing to do. And so I spend a lot of effort sometimes like doing stuff that's like nice, but it's not something that she's worried about, or maybe it doesn't help her with what she's dealing with. But I honestly spend a lot of time like thinking about what I should be doing and then kind of feeling bad if I miss the mark, or if I feel like I wish I could help more or do something more meaningful. And I get up in my own head a lot because I feel like I feel almost guilty of like, God, there's gotta be more, there's gotta be something I can do. And anyone who's been in any sort of relationship, romantic or otherwise, probably understands that sometimes there's just not anything you can do to help. Sometimes a person just needs you to like sit there and listen to them, or be next to them, give them a hug. They just need you to like be there. And I'm not good at that because I'm constantly wanting to do something, get them a snack or whatever. And so I get up in my head about this a lot. And so Mandy will sometimes just do, like, it depends on where I am, but sometimes she'll just do something really simple. We'll be sitting, working, hanging out, whatever. And she'll go and get herself a drink, something from the kitchen. She'll bring me back something that she knows I like. She'll just get me a soda or get me chips or something. Totally small, not like some significant action, but if I'm in that bad space where I'm like feeling guilty, or if I'm dealing with other stuff, stress or whatever, and she just brings me like an unsolicited little snack or whatever, a little treat of some sort, I get that rush, that thing that I think you're talking about, Mark, where it's like she'll hand me a soda and I'll look at it and my eyes will well up and my whole perspective on whatever is happening inside of my head changes.
Yeah.
And I get that feeling of like, that is so sweet. There's nothing in this moment that I could have wanted more than this to break me out of my bad thought process or whatever's going on. And it's a small thing. It's not even a gesture. She did it because she was in the kitchen and saw it and was like, I'll get him a drink.
Yeah.
But it has that effect of like, it lightens everything. It makes me realize that whatever I was thinking about, feeling internally is not so bad or not so dire or important. And it makes me, not because it's a snack, but because of the gesture. It has that effect of making me really tear up and just feel like so grateful that I didn't even know I wanted this. I didn't say a word, but because Mandy thought about me or thought, maybe I would need this, and she knows me, that rush of gratefulness and perspective I get from Mandy on a consistent basis. And it's like a big way that she does impact my life really positively. And there are certainly other people that have a similar sort of effect, but something about our relationship, and I guess this is a good sign, we have a healthy, bond, and we're basically best friends, and we're married and partners. Something about that gives her the power to just like fix my entire life, at least for the moment or in the moment, with something so small as like, here's a little bag of chips or a can of soda or something. Just enjoy this. And as I like drink or eat or whatever, play with whatever it is, it fixes the whole world. And it might not fix it forever, but that feeling is overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's, I feel like it's hard to describe the full extent of how positive it is, but I feel like I also really need that, and I think people in general really need that, but it's hard to get perspective sometimes, especially if you have like toxic people around you or whatever your situation is. So I guess I'm thankful for Mandy, and I hope that more people in the world find at least someone, if not as many people as they can, that can do that for them.
Boil that entire beautiful story down to some points, and I'm gonna render its worth as thankfulness in a numerical value. It's incredibly
as long as it's more points than Wade gets. That's all the reason I brought it up.
We'll see. All right, Wade, what do you got?
All right, well, I've got some Molly things to say, but I was going to save that for later, so I'll go with the story I was telling.
Okay.
I talked about everything that Keeters went through recently. Maybe it was last episode. I can't remember. Everything's kind of been a blur. But I've got to reiterate how thankful Molly and I both were that the vet, all the technicians basically shut down their clinic. And they gave us a room for 2 hours that we sat there basically mourning, waiting for Keeters to pass. But the vet never gave up. I don't know how often that kind of thing happens, but I imagine it's somewhat commonplace for a vet to either put animals down or for things to go wrong and to lose patients, pets, whatever. But for them to, sit there manually pumping oxygen for 30 minutes before we arrived, another 10 to 15 after we arrived, for her to be making calls for 2 hours trying to find anything and everything she could for some hope of bringing him back, there's just a level of gratitude there for that amount of caring, because she kept trying to the point where Molly and I were about to literally say, if you need to humanely put him down, go for it. We don't think he's coming back. We're not medical people. We don't know. So whenever they told us that he probably didn't have any brain activity, he wasn't showing any signs, it was just his heart and lungs that were still going. It was a miserable 2 hours that we had him, an hour and 45 minutes in that room. But the thought of her being outside and not just being like, probably those intrusive thoughts of like, all right, well, they've been in this room for a while, we've got other stuff to do today, but like none of that seemed to have happened. She was out there just making calls, doing research, trying to find something maybe she didn't know to try. And that's on my mind, obviously, because it's still a very recent event. But in a time where there's so many people, especially on social media, that seem so short-tempered and angry, there's so much just anger in the world. It feels like people are just always screaming at each other. There's no communication. It's easy to feel despair and like humanity's lost. But when you see someone who truly cares and they put their heart and their soul into trying to make someone else's day better to save their pet's life for them, we would have and felt that grateful to somebody. I had no anger at all with them with everything because it was just we were at the point of giving up, and she walked thankful, that feeling of just from going from rock bottom to like that elation of he's gonna be okay was such a severe swing. I don't know. It's one of the strongest emotional swings I've ever had in my, I don't know. It's one of the strongest emotional swings I've ever had in my life. And even though I've talked about it before, I figured I wanted to bring it up again. Off chance that that vet clinic listens, just how thankful we are that they didn't give up whenever even we were at the point of giving up.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I think it all don't know what someone's going through at any given moment. You look around in a crowd and, you know, someone could be having the worst day of their life and they would never show it outwardly. And that's why, like, even from big gestures to like not giving up, which is caring, to small gestures of just being like giving a compliment to a stranger, you know, sometimes that can just make their compliment to a stranger, you know, sometimes that can just make their entire day, can turn their entire life around. And you just don't know. You have no idea how much you can impact someone else around you, even a total stranger. From the love of your life to total strangers, there's always something you can. Boy, the thanks here. A lot of data to get through. All right, I've allocated the points.
Nice points.
Good
Thanks.
points. You're welcome. All right. Well,
To compete with Bob.
Yeah. I could tell you really hammed it up there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is circling back to, but not a TikTok update. This is more of a follow-up. Last time I did TikTok updates, messaged him a bunch and was like, Distractible talked about you. They talked about you. And he emailed me and was like, I can't believe you guys talked about me on the podcast. That's really crazy. And apparently he was just grateful. And I felt bad because I didn't say his name. Get it out if you were looking and trying to find it. Humor Bagel is the fart.
I'm shocked that people found it and you never said the name. I think it actually.
Remember what is his and isn't, because there are escalates, man.
I hope that was him and not a copy.
It's on video as, you know, the first time, but Humor Bagel is the one I down a puddle.
No.
I down a puddle.
No, experience. Got a new bash for you and I sure experience. Got a new bash for you and I sure. All right. Second round coming up. If you guys haven't thought of it already, start your second round coming up. If you guys haven't thought of it already, start your brains turning towards the next thing that you can be thankful for. I will buy you some time because I'm thankful for the opportunity to tell my mom's story in the document and make a cool documentary and all that. It really also just allowed me to boil down and get out some really, really interesting stories. She's basically Korean Thanksgiving, where they gather around, eat a lot of food, and, you know, try to remember their ancestors, honor their family, and gather with friends and stuff like that. It's a big deal, big deal in Korea. Probably a bigger deal than Thanksgiving is in America, which I know is hard to say, but it's huge over there. And so it is just an entire experience where I was able to be thankful. And my mom, you know, when she watched the documentary, she just like really truly thanked me for making it, and I'm just like melted away because it was any time. Like that little thank you made it all worth it. Just being grateful for it is all that really matters.
Yeah. Well, and this is coming from kind of a place of ignorance. I am not educated about Korean culture or any other like Asian culture, but on media and stuff. I know the holiday you just described sounds like exactly what I'm thinking about, but I know that this is kind of a characteristic of other Asian countries, like cultural things, is honoring your ancestors and being like mindful about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really interesting. I know that in America we do not have like, you know, the same history that much older nations have around the world, but I do wish that there was more of a sense of like really having some celebration around which we could honor family or focus more on like our ancestry and our family and where we've come from. Definitely not a thing I ever considered when I was younger, but as I'm, you know, getting ready to have my own kid and getting older in general, I wish that I knew more about my extended family and more about sort of, you know, how we started, where we came from, where we immigrated from, and whatever. I know a little bit, but I think that that's a really for me, it seems like that would be really meaningful to have more connection to that. And not that we don't. I'm sure a lot of American families, especially if you have ties to your family back through the immigration process to, you know, there's a lot of heritage pride in like certain nationalities and stuff. But I feel like it's not a thing nationally where Americans spend a lot of time talking about and honoring, you know, ancestry necessarily. And maybe that's just my experience, but I wish I had more of that. Very interesting.
Yeah.
That holiday sounds much more enjoyable and like a worthwhile time than a lot of American holidays do to me. Not that I don't love a good 4th of July or Thanksgiving or whatever, but I guess I'm jealous is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. A lot of times, you know, American Thanksgiving, growing up especially, all I knew of Thanksgiving was like, oh, the Pilgrims were grateful, and that was it. It didn't have any like family ties to it.
Right.
There was you know, family traditions where you gather around the dinner table and you say, what are we thankful for? But it was always that kind of forced thing where you're like, I'm thankful for this food.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'm thankful for, you know, my football team winning, you know, kind of like that.
Yeah, you didn't want to get mushy and be a nerd.
Yeah, I know, right? No, it is very, very cool. And I'm sure there's people in Korea, like native Koreans, that are like, I don't really care about Chuseok, but you know, I think as a whole, it really does kind of put things in perspective and make you think, and that is important.
Yeah.
I will give you 1 point, Bob, but just one, because that was a good interlude and good. I like that.
And I also have my story ready.
Oh.
I'm ready.
If you're ready, Wade. Okay.
Okay, what's your
You want
title?
me to tell my title first?
Yeah, title's up.
My title is what? Me?
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Wait.
The people.
Oh God.
You know, Bob, I'm sorry. I got this sounds so ominous. I'm just curious how this turns around to thanking someone.
No, I'm kind of with you. All
right, Wade, you get the title point. Wing.
Excellent. It was total clickbait. You get spelled for it.
No.
It's true. Well, the title's true. Just the tone of voice was total clickbait.
Okay, all
Glad
right.
it worked.
All right, fair enough.
Got a list of things I wanted to talk about for this. I cannot express how much literally everything she does, and everything I would normally be stressing about, I don't have to, because she's either doing it or helping with it or there to listen to me whine about it. I'm not going to go into as in depth as Bob did, 'cause I feel like it's a very similar story, but I cannot help but say that I could not do what I do, and I probably wouldn't have gotten through a lot of the things that have happened in the last 10 years if it weren't for Molly. All those little things add up to something much, much larger. But the next thing I want to echo is you two. God, it all boils down to you guys and Drunk Minded prior to, you know, college. We had probably had a couple of classes together, junior high, whatever. We did a Relay for Life for the American Cancer Society, but we were in different groups in college. I came to a couple of your streams. We talked at our friend Dan's party about YouTube and whatnot. But to say that you and I were close friends prior to doing, you know, Drunk Minecraft and YouTube and whatnot would be an exaggeration. We really didn't know each other all that well. And you guys and all the people you knew or just doing YouTube, but deciding to invite me to that set my life on such a different path than I was been in my life. Losing my ex, losing my passion for wanting to be an attorney or a judge, being back home in my mom's basement, working at a gas station. Just, I was at the lowest of lows in every way possible. My social life, my love life, my career, everything hit bottom at once. And that simple gesture of you guys inviting me to drink a Long Island with you while we played Minecraft, which is a game I didn't even know that well, that small gesture, it completely changed the course of my life. It led to me meeting Molly, Sean, etc. Just all the different things that have happened. And it was all thanks to you guys being like, yeah, I guess let's invite that Wade guy. Because I don't even think Bob and I had met prior to that.
I don't think so. I think we literally met online in Minecraft.
We met meeting that episode 1, I think, was the first time you and I interacted at all.
Was it
And
really?
I think
Maybe.
But I don't think I met or in any way really interacted with Wade.
no.
I guess, Wade, you weren't really over at Thaxton's too much.
But no, probably around the time that you guys were hanging out a bunch was either toward the end of my relationship at that time or something else. But That's what I mean. I felt like I had very little business being there for that recording, even the very first one. And I battled for a long time with imposter syndrome. I still do to some extent, but didn't know that I really belonged. I didn't know that I am, that you guys gave me a chance to come drink with you and play Minecraft and then continue along the way. I wouldn't have even had a computer to do that with if Mark hadn't helped me literally buy and build my computer that all I wanted it to be able to do was play Diablo 3. I don't know if you remember that way back then.
Yeah, I do. That trip to Micro Center, I do remember it.
Yeah.
I think, wasn't Tyler with us too?
It was just you and I that time, I believe.
Huh.
But I've got a shit memory, so he might be able to tell me more honestly. But
Yeah.
no, I don't know where my life was heading, but I was in the biggest divot I've ever been in my life in every facet. And I wouldn't have done anything drastic, but I also don't know how I would have righted it without you two. And I don't know if I've truly expressed how grateful I am that literally that one decision to let me join you for Drunk Minecraft reshaped my life, gave me one, led me to my wife, and happiness and joy I never even knew existed. I never thought I would enjoy my job. I was dedicated to getting something that I thought would pay well, that I'd be good at, and just accepting it. And that decision to let me join you completely changed everything. So thank you.
Well,
You are the people.
oh, we're the people. Okay. Well, thank you very much as well. I don't want to take up any time thanking back, because I am very grateful that you guys believed that this crazy idea was even worth your time. But I guess at the end of the day, it was just like an opportunity to play games with people you like. And it's very special. So I'm going to put your thankful story in the Thankotron.
Please do.
Let me judge this for how sincere were you? I don't mean to.
While Mark computes, I do want to say I think you're recoloring a lot of the early Minecraft experience. I'm sure it was fun for you, but from the era of Shut Up Wade being the main thing that you were known for and exposed to.
Oh no.
And you describing it as sharing a lot of good times and fun. I hope it was fun.
Everyone
but
else has
also-
always been more offended for me than me. For you guys, I mean, sure, you busted my balls a little hard a couple of times, but like, I've always been a person that tried my best to get under Mark's skin. My goal in the early episodes was somehow piss Mark off to the point where he would explode in rage, because I found that shit hilarious. Shut up, wait. Like, that part of people taking it out of context and doing it
extremely, but
and there's still the occasion matter. I enjoyed what we did. I had fun with it. I enjoyed prodding. You poked back. Sometimes we all overstepped. That's friendship. The difference was our friendship was in the public eye, and I guess still is. But the crux of it was I had a place where I belonged, and I was enjoying things. I met Molly, and my life was writing. So despite bumps along the way, all of that was a million times better than where I was back in March of 2012, I guess.
Well,
I appreciate it.
for all the bumps, it's still very meaningful. And I've calculated your points and allocated them accordingly.
Oh, God, I hope it's at least one.
It's more than one, I can tell you that.
That's a new Wade record!
All right, Bob. If you're ready, I forget the name of your title.
Molly, so there may be some overlap, but I do think that I have a different take on this.
Okay.
My story called what, me, really? It's basically in reference to what we was talking about, in reference to the stuff we've gotten to do. But I find that it feels like luck. Obviously, it's not all luck. There's a lot of stuff that you made happen and we as a group made happen, or, worked on and did and accomplished as a group or on our own. But I always find this funny. There's a lot of stuff in my life I've gotten to do that was purely because I entertain people, I guess, and we have a good group dynamic. And the biggest example of this is the tour for me, but it's definitely not exclusively the tour. And I guess I was trying to think of times in my life where that feeling you were describing in the opening was sort of captured for me. And it always sticks out for me that obviously doing the tour was incredibly cool. That people were willing to buy tickets and come out and support it and make it possible was unbelievable and super awesome. And that we got to a place where we had a show that I think we all liked and I think was legitimately fun and entertaining to a variety of people. One of the big things we got on the show that seemed weird is the kids not kids, but you know, the fans, some of them younger, some of them older, seem to like it, but they enjoy us. Like, we could have stood on stage and probably just done what we do now with the podcast, but just stood there awkwardly and talked to each other, do our normal shenanigans, and they may have still enjoyed that. And I feel like we ended up putting on a really good show. And what makes me feel confident in that is that we had so many reviews from people who were like, I'm a parent. I went to the show because my kid wanted to go, and they're not old enough to go alone. I don't know who these guys are, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And we got a good number of those reviews. And then those are just the reviews people felt they need to post, right? So we don't know how everyone who saw it felt. But if that's representative, then even the parents wwho were like, oh, yeah, I'll take you to this stupid YouTube show, jeez, even they enjoyed it, at least some of the time. And that's incredible. And all of these things combined can really, like, anytime I think about that, the experiences of the tours, the legs of the tour that we did, I get that same rush of the gratefulness thing. I get that moment of like clarity and gratefulness. Because what we do is hard to say that it's like a too hard of a job. You know, we're not exactly digging ditches or risking our lives with what we do or whatever else. You know, there's a lot of jobs that are very stressful and bad for your health. But the side of it that can be tough is keeping perspective. Remembering that for every negative comment, for every person who thinks whatever idea that I had was stupid, or that I'm just a fat guy who laughs at everything and I'm not very funny, I'm overrated, whatever, all that stuff comes up online. It's hard to keep the perspective of like, those don't represent everyone's views. That's a, you know, some amount of people are not going to like what we do, and that's perfectly fine. Some of them are going to express it in nice or really mean ways. But the tour, anytime I think about it, even if I think about like the way the crew was, we had such a good crew. And every time we got to a venue and I saw like a dressing room with my name on it, I had that feeling of like, oh, they put my name on this room. It's just for me. It's stupid because it's their job. That's part of how the show works. It's like a normal thing. It made me feel that feeling of gratefulness. Everyone on the show was taking such great care of us. We were the talent. We were on stage, so we had to do our thing. But I feel like almost everyone who was on the tour with us, except for you, Mark, you worked as hard as the crew did. But like everyone but me on the tour worked so hard. The crew worked before we woke up until after we were already on the bus screwing around. Like, they all worked incredibly hard, but they treated us like we were the most, you know, important. And all of these things, show, and a lot of other stuff we've gotten to do. I think about the times we've done panels at conventions, or the times where, like, even just recently when we got together in LA, and it was, you know, we were just basically getting together to do the podcast and promote it together. But we got to stream in the Corridor studio, which is incredibly cool, and we got to, you know, just hang out. All of this stuff. It's easy to get bogged down in all of the negative comments and social media stuff and feel like I'm not as funny as I think I am, and my ideas aren't as good as I think they are. It's easy to get bogged down in that. But all the insane things and support from people, fans and otherwise, crew people and people that we work with and help us, you know, plan and accomplish things, it gives me that same feeling. And it's what keeps me invested in, you know, this, I guess, because my goal was never and is still not to be like a celebrity. I don't know if I could hang in the world of acting and being a celebrity. I see what you have to deal with, Mark, in being like, famous and, you know, everything that comes with that. That stresses me out. That sounds crazy. But the joys and unbelievable things and moments we've gotten to experience together are the part that washes away all of the negativity and stress and concern about doubting myself and doubting, you know, whatever we're doing, this or the show or other things we've done together. And I'm really grateful for anyone who ever said a nice thing on the subreddit or on social media. I'm really grateful for you guys for always going along, even when, you know, we're trying to do something and I'm like, I have an idea. Stay with me. Pants. And you're just like, yeah, pants. All right. Let's do this. You know, like all of these moments combined to make it so much more of a positive experience doing YouTube and this podcast and all the things we've done than the negativity. And that's the saving grace, because I've seen a lot of people in similar positions doing YouTube or otherwise who get absolutely dragged down and destroyed by the negativity, because it's a lot. Depending on who you are as a person, it can be unbearable in terms of your mental well-being, your mental health and everything. So it's sort of a general gratefulness, but you guys, anyone who's ever supported us, bought anything, gone to a show, seen our live streams, whatever, it may not seem like it, but you impact my life like on a daily basis, because the positivity that you've given us or me individually is the only thing that washes away the rest of it that can be very stressful and challenging.
Can I addendum here to add a story about a fan experience that sticks out to me?
Sure.
We did a, man, it's been so long now. We did a signing after a panel at one of the PAXs, I think, back in like 2014, 2015, somewhere in that range. And there was a girl who came up, and I think she was a fan of all of us, but she seemed particularly like interested in talking to me about like my content, which wasn't always the case. It's fine. People are allowed to be bigger fans of like you or Mark or Sean or whoever, and it doesn't really bothers me, but it is cool whenever you have like the person who's just like a big fan of what you do and they talk about like your videos, specifically like solo content. It's just a cool feeling. And she was talking to me about some of my stuff and signed her wrist. Signed it. And I, you know, that was one of the first times in right mind would want my signature tattooed on their arm. What a weird thing. Like, I'm not important enough to be tattooed on someone's body in my mind. But I signed it and, you know, hugged her, took a photo, whatever. She left. And it was like 2 years later, we were doing another signing, and I think it was like a longer one. We were doing a long signing, and I remember we were getting close to the end. I think we were all tired, lost our, and it was her. And after like making eye contact, like the memory of that signing came back to me. I was like, oh my God, I remember her. I've met her before, and she's the one that had me sign her wrist. And as she walked up, her eyes were welling, and she pulled up her sleeve, and there was my name on her wrist. And I started crying, like my eyes started watering. I got up and I just gave her a hug, and she just said thank you, like between the tears. And she said she hadn't harmed since I'd signed her wrist. That was the last time she'd done it, was before that. And people tell us all the time how we impact and change their lives with what we do. But I think from our model, it was just 2 dates. But I will never forget her, or that exchange of look we had in that moment of recognition, and her just showing me that signature and how much that apparently had changed her life. And I don't know that the general fan understands how much that impacts us too, knowing that we've made a difference in their lives. It really gives weight to the dumb shit that we do and makes it feel a lot more important than what it otherwise would be of just guys hanging out, having a good time.
Well, thank you for that. That's very meaningful. You know, we haven't gotten around to too many individual stories. Gave us a chance, but I think you guys said it better than I ever could. So
Thanks.
So I will just do my due diligence and act as judge. But I want to say, before I render the judgment, I just want to say, like, you guys both are like incredibly sweet, talented people. I am grateful to be here 10 years later after starting my channel and you guys starting your channels and us working together. And we're still here. Like, we're still here talking, and we're still here having fun, sharing memories. And there are still more memories to be made. And I think that's just a wonderful thing. And I'm lucky. There really is no way to compare the stories you say in a quantifiable, like, which one was a better thank you than the other. So I'm only going to render judgment based on the criteria at the beginning, because Wade, you like had tons of good stories, Bobby had tons of good stories, and the criteria just sheerly by that metric, not things that jumped out to me, which was the snack being brought and the name tag on the door.
Only 2 small things, Bob. Take the L.
The win to Bob.
Wait, what? How many did I have?
I won small thing.
God damn it! Why does this always happen to me? Subreddit! You know what to do.
No. What I want from the subreddit is for people to write the small things or big things. Like, it's really tough here to like give a quantitative winner, and I kind of regret that there is. And I don't want to pull the move where you're both the winner here, and I don't want to just coin flip again. So I got to pick some arbitrary thing. But I do want from the subreddit for people to post things that they have been very, very grateful for, things that have touched their lives in a way that the person who offered whatever it was could never. Like, you know, big things can come from something that seems innocuous in the beginning, like us playing Minecraft and drinking. But you know, there's so much to be grateful for, and there's so many opportunities for people out there to see their friends and family, or just like people around them, and give them a small gesture that would mean the world to them, being that mean the world to them, being that generous to you, but you could always be generous to someone else. Generous to you, but you could always be generous to someone else. So, Bob, you are the big winner according to the Thankotron 3000. It almost overloaded there, but I put out the fires and it has declared you the
My winner speech by issuing correction. I believe in my first story I said that Mandy and I have been together for a decade. It's actually 12 years. I do know and I have been together for a decade. It's actually 12 years.
Wednesday.
I do know that it's 12. I do know that it's 12 years. I just forgot how many. It's been a long time, and I still struggle. Years. I just forgot how many. It's been a long time, and I still struggle to remember how to be enjoyable to listen to. And I guess I hope that anyone listening reflects on this. Uttered near you one time.
Thanks.
Like that, except it would have the right effect. And so yeah, like Mark said, it's an arbitrary time of year for this to be a theme, but it is a good theme. There's absolutely no reason not to spread small acts of kindness year round. It sounds really stupid, but even if you like the shoes, someone has been like, hey, cool shirt. It has a very similar impact where for no reason from a person I know nothing about and whose opinion has no impact on me, really, them giving me a random compliment, I'll come to do that. Because it certainly could impact people more than you would ever know.
Well said. Well said. Good winter speech. Maybe the best winter speech we've had so far.
But I do gotta say, some small things, you know, we keep this with health insurance was so kind and just so compassionate, just like nice, helpful, friendly, and that made it a million times better than it's ever been before. Just doing that. That people still sometimes do. That makes me happy. I try to do the same, or kindness, and people do it in turn, and it makes everything. I do it in turn, and it makes everything. Molly, it's so hard. Molly, it's so hard. Bob's words from Andy were so good, and I've always had such a hard time formulating words to explain how grateful. As good as I am with words normally, I cannot come up with the right ones. That being said, buy our merch and stuff, I guess. I don't know. Fucking losers.
You didn't quite. Bob Meiskrim on Twitch again. Wade Minion777 on Twitch. And Lord Minion777 on YouTube. You know who. Thank you.
Everything you want. Feel it up.
Yeah. All right. As our forefathers said, freedom to feel. Thank you.
And from all of us support staff at Distractible, thank you, gentle listener, for joining the gents each and every week. By merely listening and laughing, you put food